What's up everyone, this is Wasim from the Tech Boys, and I have a battle between the Samsung Galaxy Note 2 and the Galaxy Nexus. Let's go ahead and get started and compare the design of both devices. The Note 2 has a 5.5-inch HD Super AMOLED display with a resolution of 720 by 1280. The pixels per inch is at 265. The Galaxy Nexus has a 4.65-inch display with a resolution of 720 by 1280. Bringing pixels per inch at 316. Now let's go ahead. They're both made by Samsung, so they both feature a plastic construction. The Galaxy Nexus was made alongside with Google, and the Nexus has been out for about a year now, so it's really not the fairest comparison, but we're gonna go ahead and just do it. So it's a very thin phone, really easy, a nice grip, and it's very comfortable to hold. The Galaxy Note is a very big phone made by a plastic construction with a hybrid glazed material. So you can see it's not the most ergonomic phone because it's harder to reach all corners of the device. The Galaxy Note 2 has a 1.6 GHz quad-core Exynos chip, 2 GB of RAM and 16 GB built in. You can also expand your Galaxy Note 2 memory with a 64 GB micro SD. The Galaxy Nexus has 16 GB of built-in storage, 1 GB of RAM, and a 1.2 GHz Ti OMAP chip. So as far as specs, the Galaxy Note just crushes over the Galaxy Nexus. There is no expandable storage on the Galaxy Nexus either. And taking a look at the cameras, the Galaxy Nexus has a 5 megapixel sensor. The Galaxy Note 2 has an 8 megapixel. So photos just look much better on the Galaxy Note 2. Both have front-facing cameras so you can video chat. As far as software, they're both running Android 4.1. The Galaxy Nexus is a step higher with 4.1.2, which is a lot smoother than the previous version of Jelly Bean. The Galaxy Note 2 is running Samsung's TouchWiz user interface, so it's not the pure Google experience on the Galaxy Nexus. But both devices are extremely smooth. I'll just go ahead and show you guys how the operating system works. So they both have your application drawers, and widgets are at the top. One thing I do like about it is if I'm scrolling through my widgets on the Galaxy Note 2, it will not go back to my apps, which I like and prefer. It's totally up to you. With the Galaxy Nexus, if I'm in my applications, it will scroll to my widgets, and then I would have to scroll all the way back to apps. So this, with the Note, you don't have to scroll. It will just go in a random circle. And then if you want to go to apps, it will loop in a circle, which I prefer a little bit more than the Nexus. So as far as software, very similar. In the notification tray, you do get a little bit more options as far as your toggles for Wi-Fi, GPS, sound, rotation, and a few more, as well as your brightness controls. The Nexus, there is no option for that. All you have is your notifications, but if you like, you can add a toggle widget on your home screen. Now let's jump into the web browsers between both devices, and we're gonna pull up phonearena.com for both. And both phones have visited the site before, so it should be a pretty even comparison. So Phone Arena, and go. They're off. They're still pulling up a lot of images and text. And they're both still going. This is a very big, heavy site, so it does take up a lot of data to download everything. So obviously you do notice the sizes between both phones, and I just want to let you know that the Galaxy Note 2 has loaded up the content. So pinch to zoom is very smooth on the Note 2, and of course because of the bigger display you can see more of the web. It does give you options for printing, saving it, adding it to your bookmark, and all the other options you would expect. And transition effects is nice and smooth and fast. And the Galaxy Nexus is still extremely smooth thanks to Project Butter. Android is just very, very smooth. And we're just going to jump to the next site. We're going to go to, let's go to phonedog.com. Alright, so here we have them, and we're gonna go ahead and go to the website. They're both going. You can see both showed up the website. They're still pulling in the last few bits of information, but we can scroll to the bottom and probably get to the desktop view. And the Note 2 is finished. So you do kind of get the idea. Thanks to the faster processor, the Note 2 pulls up information much faster than the Galaxy Nexus. Not to say that the Nexus is slow, but it's just not as fast compared to the Note 2. And both devices do offer Google Now. To access Google Now on the Note 2, you can go ahead and tap on your Google search bar, or press and hold your home button and then tap on the Google icon in the center. With the Galaxy Nexus, go ahead and slide up from the home button and it will pull up your Google Now. And of course you can ask it the same thing. They both work very similar. Who is the President of the United States?
The President of the United States of America is Barack Obama.
How big is China?
China has an area of 3,705,842 square miles.
What time is it?
The time is 8:39 p.m.
So you kind of get the idea. One thing I do want to mention is the displays of both devices. The Galaxy Note 2 has a much purer display. The whites appear a little bit more white. The Galaxy Nexus is using a pentile AMOLED display, so it's not as color accurate than the Note 2. And let's go ahead and jump into the cameras of both devices. So we have the camera here and the camera on the Galaxy Nexus. As far as the camera quality, the Note 2 definitely wins because of the 8 megapixel sensor. It's just a lot high. It's much higher quality and the pictures are more accurate. You do also have options like burst shot, where you can take rapid photos like that, and just way more manual controls as well as effects and exposures. The Galaxy Nexus, while it does have a decent camera, color accuracy is not as good, but it does have a few options as far as manual controls. So you can go ahead and change your scene mode, your exposures, white balance, and your flash. But the camera round will go to the Galaxy Note 2. Thank you for watching my comparison of the Galaxy Note 2 and the Galaxy Nexus. At the end, the Galaxy Note 2 is a much better device. It does have a faster processor. The camera is much better. While I do prefer stock Google on the Galaxy Nexus, TouchWiz is actually not that bad. And I do love the notification center on TouchWiz. We'll see you in the next video.